This episode was excellent. Pacing works wonders. Hello everyone and welcome to the show where I give my thoughts on the most recent episode or so of Higurashi Sotsu. I would have actually waited another week since I don't think I have enough thoughts to compile on this episode alone. However, we've recently received leaks, 50 images throughout the first 3 episodes of Tatarayakashi. Don't worry if you don't want to be spoiled, I'll tell you clearly when I start talking about that. But before then, let's get on to the episode discussion. Teppei is such a weird character. I don't think I've ever seen someone like him in fiction. It's probably because not many are willing to redeem an abuser and make them into an awkward relative, but Ryukishi is a mad genius, and he's done it to honestly, shockingly sparse criticism. That isn't to say it's a bad thing Teppei's character was taken this way or that it's bad writing. In fact, I do like it a lot. It's just bizarre. But that's Higurashi for you. Also, even the Mahjong buddies got many redemptions. What universe are we? At first I questioned why we were being shown club scenes in this episode, and when it zoomed out of the fragment to show Ewa looking on in glee, I was even more confused for a moment. But I think I have the answer. Ewa finds club activities entertaining, meaning it isn't just the horror and betrayal and tragedy that she enjoys, but also the slice of life. Ewa is looking more and more like the viewer every day. Of course, she wouldn't want it to end, so tragedy would have to strike at some point. But it's an interesting twist nonetheless. Anyone notice the animation in this episode, especially in the first half, lacking? To me it was a little bit distracting, but Passione has been pretty good about balancing their budget in terms of the animation quality, putting it where it matters. I think this is the first time where it genuinely took me out of the moment a little bit, but that's fine. I don't expect them to be perfect 100% of the time. I'm fairly certain Hanyu isn't the Hanyu we know. We have been getting frequent hits at this, from using the wrong pronoun for herself at the start, to the lack of ow-ows, to her apparently knowing who killed Rika and was going to tell her before being cut off. The question here isn't whether Ewa is involved, but the extent that she is. Is she presenting herself as a fake Hanyu? Is she using some kind of possession on Hanyu? It remains unclear. It was interesting getting a window into the thought process of Rika and Satoko alike at the start of the episode, especially Rika, since despite her importance, her presence in the state has been rather ambiguous. In Go, we are made to keep an eye on her, but the nuances of her emotions are an enigma to us, especially given the unknown history of this Rika at St. Lucia's. Here we get the start of some consideration that perhaps she has been only considering herself since escaping her original fate. And why wouldn't she? She's finally been able to make something of her own life after repeating the same period of time for 100 years. This is tangentially related, but something people seem to forget about Rika is that even though she has been physically alive for a very long time, she is not a mature adult. Disregarding her prepubescent hormone balance and underdeveloped brain, her experience has been in the purview of the extremely limited range of a child. For much of her journey, all she did was laze around depressed, and depression doesn't equal maturity. I think this framework helps to understand her character a lot more. But Satoko is screwed. I was wrong about her killing herself before Rika dies, meaning the loop doesn't count for Rika. Instead, Satoko will be cast into a fragment where Rika never existed in the first place. So in other words, she has no recourse for being found out at the end of Nekodamashi. Even if she kills Rika, she'll remember the culprit. Her only option at that point is endless spawn killing. And the fact that Rika now knows who is behind her new fate, her heart is going to be completely closed off to Satoko's wiles. She fucked herself. And now I'm more excited than ever to see how that is going to go down. And that is all I had to impart regarding the episode. From here on I will be discussing the Tatarayakashi leaks, so if you don't want to be spoiled then click off now. 3, 2... So actually I produced a video immediately after the leaks were collected into a convenient Imgur post by Yuma, but it was taken down due to copyright, which is fair. That's their right and it makes sense they would crack down on it. So for this episode I will not be showing any of these screenshots. You will have to find them on your own if you're interested. So instead I'll just talk about them. So we've got Oishi pissing at the shrine for some reason. that aside, it seems he's really focused on investigating the Hojos. There's a screenshot where his car is outside their house with a bunch of trash bags in the trunk, so maybe he's digging through the trash trying to find something. There's another one where he and Kumagai have come inside the house. It appears to be, and I think that's a child welfare officer sitting there, and across from them, Satoko and Teppei. So it looks like they actually did do their job. Yeah. There's one where Sadako is pointing a gun at Teppei for some reason. I don't know, I guess it's like a "you are no longer useful to me" kind of thing, because there's another screenshot where she's just covered in blood and it looks to be in the same room. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. No, yeah, it looks to be the same room. There's blood everywhere, actually, so I don't know how just a gunshot can do that. Then again, Peshone. Yeah, and she's like completely covered in blood, and I don't really know what to make of that. There's Teppei reading a magazine. But I think the most interesting part of these screenshots is there's one where it shows Satoko. It's in the fragment space, and it shows Satoko looking at another version of Satoko with red eyes. And it's interesting because it implies some sort of character development, and I don't know if it's supposed to be literally like a split personality or like a different person. I don't know if it's supposed to be that or if it's supposed to be a metaphor. I don't know. Knowing Ryukishi, probably both. So we'll just have to see where that goes. And it looks like Oishi has the syndrome. There's one where he's where he has his hand on his neck. So yeah, that's all I got. So let me know what you guys think, both about the leaks and the episode in the comments. And I'll see you next time. I go by Tasty Nachos, and you go by